The way we time travel. You can hear a song that took place 20 years ago and remember where you were and what you was doing at that time. So the music serves as time markers. You can use it to travel. Remember I said sampling was a way for us to bring that energy from the 50s and 60s into the present day and time. By sampling those records, we were summoning those warriors from that time into a future time because there's still work that needs to be done. That's why they really had to stop sampling. See what I'm saying? Because we were taking an energy, because remember, every time you record something, your energy is now encapsulated in that particular disc or record forever. Whatever you was feeling, your thoughts are now crystallized on that record. And if your thoughts were militant, if your thoughts were about healing and it had a certain energy, if I sample it, I bring you back. You might be physically gone, passed on, but I can bring your spirit back. It was a cool way to summon the ancestors. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of them records from the 50s and 60s, we can summon those ancestors and have them do work. This is why I tell rappers, don't be spitting that bullshit on your records. Find out where the sample came from, find out what was going on in that day and time with that particular artist, and try to add on to that artist's plight. This way that artist will live forever. All right? So that's very, very important. Boom.
The GOAT.
The GOAT.
The greatest of all time.
The greatest of all. Now, I know people are going to say, well, Jay-Z might be the greatest, this one. Check this out. This came out in 1985. And he's still on the charts today. He got a #1 hit out right now.
Right now.
What other artists can say they came out in 1985 and is still relevant in hip-hop? Not R&B, because you know, the stylistics is still performing. So in R&B is a little bit different energy. We keep that around, we understand, and they still be on the chart. The Isley Brothers was on the charts for 50 years. Ron Isley, 50 years. Unheard of. But LL, so I had to begin to contemplate who is the greatest. And I have to consider him. He never put out any malicious music toward women, never put out any gangster music. He just stayed, you know what I'm saying, blessing the feminine energy. My wife already told me when she meet LL, she gonna get that nigga the business. She mean that shit. She said, "Little nigga, when LL show up, you can forget about it." I respect that because LL has been doing that to women since day one. That's the way he took out Kool Moe Dee. Because I thought Kool Moe Dee had better rhymes, but LL took his shirt off. You see what I'm saying? Fucking moving the chest and shit, doing all that shit. And he can rhyme. Don't get it twisted. He can blow. So, and he was representing the new energy. Kool Moe Dee represented the iconic MCs. And he was a dark brother who wore these damn dark ass Star Trek shades and all that. Understand that he lived in the darkness. That's where your melanin works. So Moe Dee kept them dark shades on. Now we can understand the science behind it, you know what I'm saying? But L came out totally contrast and went for the women. He was the first one to really go for the women. I Need Love? That shit is a classic. That shit make thug niggas be like, yeah, damn, I do need love. Never thought about that shit. Dude needs some love and shit. And he made it cool for brothers to approach women on some I need love shit. LL did all that. And he stayed the course to this day. So he, in my opinion, is the GOAT. Alright, now, get into that. Get into that.
You look at L, you know what I mean, by embracing all of that feminine energy, that's what the fuck kept him young for so long. He's reminding us that we're immortal, we can't die. LL, this is him when he was younger.
This shit is 85, 86.
He looks better now. He looks younger and better now. So, as we showed in Pan's Labyrinth, that GOAT, you know what I'm saying? He is that GOAT. The greatest of all time. He can't die. Look at that. That's back then and look at now. Look at to the right. That's the GOAT. That's the GOAT right there. That's LL. That's LL. He is the greatest of all time. Reminding you that when you see these sigils like Pan, but if you look at your rappers, they will remind you, yeah, I'm the GOAT, greatest of all time. LL doesn't age. He's reminding you of that immortality. He looks just as young as he did now. Still running.
He looked better now than he did then. I'm like, what the hell is he on? And I know they might say he on some like plastic surgery or something. I've seen the work of plastic surgery. That shit don't do that. Your shit be all twisted and shit. After a while, you might get a good 2 years When your shit is right and then your shit start leading and shit, because it ain't real. This nigga look young. Turn back to that shit. No homo, no homo. No homo. Throw that out there and shit. Pause. This nigga saying the BX pause. Pause. So no, no homo, but check that shit out. And he stays serenading women. That is it. That's what keeps him young. Women. Serious business. So he is the goddamn GOAT. This is his album, the one he got out now. Exit 13. You see what I'm saying? So we know that 13 is a master number. You know what I'm saying? So he's saying, this is how long, this is his 13th album, and now he's exiting. What is he exiting? Is he exiting just Def Jam Records, or he exiting somewhere else? Who knows what he's talking about? Boom. X-Clan.
That's the X. And if you see, they're embracing that concept of the X factor, your DNA. This is what's encompassed inside of all your DNA. You got Marcus Garvey. You got Huey P. Newton on it. You got everybody on it. Malcolm X. When you embrace that X factor, you get on your Cadillac and you get the hell out of your cosmic ship. T-Pain and them got a song right now, if y'all ain't never seen it. My Cadillac, I feel like I'm in a spaceship. It's a new song that came out in the States, but they on the hovercraft. The X-Clan was telling me, let's get out of here. You know what I mean? The X Factor, X-Clan.
Next. The Exodus. What does it inquire? We need to study all of this. All of our ancient sciences. Not just one, not just two. We need to study because it's all our science. All of it. And that's the true testament. You see what I'm saying? That's the true Exodus. And you deal with the 5% lessons. You deal with, you know what I'm saying, Kemetic science. You're dealing with the Jewish or so-called Jewish. All of this is our science. The Masonic, all of it.
And at the center is the all-seeing eye. The ancient Kemetic all-seeing eye. Once you embrace all of it. And that's the only Exodus that can ever happen. Ain't no massive people ever go from here to there. It's how we can get out. Through embracing our sciences. The only Exodus that can happen. X-Clan letting you know. That is the New Testament to be written. And we're writing it right now. Putting everything together. It's all ours.
Boom, that's their new joint.
Return from the Mecca. X-Clan. And they were too powerful. If anybody ever remember their videos, they used to scare the shit out of me. I used to be like, damn, what the hell? They were walking around with big staffs and unks wearing fezzes. The sisters had nose rings. It's like, what the hell is this? They had to shut that down. That was too powerful.
They had to shut that power down.
So Sonny Carson was, whose father was that? That was
Professor X.
Professor X.
His father was Sonny, his father was Sonny Carson from the Civil Rights Movement.
A lot of
so the apple don't fall too far from the tree.
Exactly.
And recently he changed, before he passed away, he changed his name to Anubis Gray. So he was telling he was crossing over to a whole nother world, and even in his premonition. And they took him out, because I had just spoke to him on the phone. And, you know, like he was interested in my book and some other things, and next thing you know, he was gone. Because he wanted to know if I could help him, you know, put his book out and stuff of that nature. I was at his last public speaking, and he looked fine to me. You know, he didn't look like he was about to pass out. These are some more
movies that was out at the time. Superman. You know that Superman is us. We only want to wear the S on our chest. Star Wars is a whole story about our mythology. Darth Vader, you know what I mean? The whole thing about midichlorians, that's really a mitochondria. That whole story is in the Saurian mythology. The resurrection, Luke Skywalker, the whole thing, the whole story. Either way you look at it, Jedi Knight is the Jed pillar from ancient Kemet, the lightsaber, the Force. That's all how we, the ancient Jedi temple, Yoda, all of that is ours. Halloween, you know what I mean? As the brother was just talking about, that's all our rituals, that's all our sciences. Talking about the Godfather.
And the Godfather. First real gangster movie, you know what I'm saying, was put our brothers into a little bit of gangster rap. You see what I'm saying? So we understand the whole science of that. Next.
Let's get into it. J. Rue Damage. See, this is really my passion. But J. Rue is telling you, is it J. Rue the Damager or Hey Rue the Damager? Is he telling you something? Wrath of the Math. Wrath of what math? He's letting you know, man, all that shit you see on shows like Heroes, that's us, man. That's us, we can really do it. I have this album on my wall and I meditate on this daily because I know if Michael Jordan could jump from the free throw line, or if Michael Jordan could have a flu and still drop 45 points, I know I can do this because I'm mutating, I can take it to another level. Look at your chakra system. You don't just have 7. These are all of the nadis in your whole body when you activate them all. What do you think is going to happen when we activate all these dormant parts? We're just sleeping giants. When we activate all of that, J. Rue just letting you know, man, that's the wrath of the math. All of that science. Look,
and he got his ninja shit on.
He got his ninja shit on. He's ready to do some type of kung fu on you. You know what I'm saying? So J. Rule is letting you know. And that's another MC that slept on heavy.
Slept on heavy.
Who was knocking his CD the other night.
Sure enough. Sure enough. And that's just the whole...
That's just the whole aspect of it. See, it's not just 7 major chakras. We have major and minor chakras that go all over your whole body. So, you know, as we need 2012 and different aspects of waking up inside of us, we activate that junk DNA. This is what they're talking about. This is what they're talking about. That's the Buddha. That's who you are. If this is not coming from cosmic rays, why is it that crop circles are forming inside the fields, letting you know the 7 chakras? You see the heart chakra right there. It's letting you know we're being bombarded with energy all the time. There it is right there. Crop circles forming the chakra system.
And these archetype symbols, they all tell a story. You see what I'm saying? Remember that if motherfuckers is coming from Mars, they're not going to speak English. But they will use sigils and archetypes that are supposed to be universal. You see what I'm saying? When we're dealing with our higher sciences, that's the way they're going to communicate. Just like the doggone got in the dirt, and these white people was asking, well, where y'all from? They had to draw the archetypes in the dirt. And these white people said, these motherfuckers is crazy. 50 years later, when white people's technology caught up to what the doggone was telling them, they were 100% accurate. These motherfuckers got bone in their nose, titties is out, they running in the grass and shit, but they highly advanced. See, that's white boys' ignorance. We don't need all this external technology to tell you who we are. You see what I'm saying? So by them, these are all, I got a book, I think I left it at the hotel, that'll break down all of these archetype symbols and tell you what they mean universally. You need this. I'm teaching them to my children now. I teach them to them now so that they can begin to recognize when they see squares and shapes and things of that nature, because they're the ones who are going to be, you know what I'm saying, encountered at some point or another. Right. And there will be an alien encounter. I'm going to say that again. There will be an alien encounter. I didn't say it was going to be real. They're preparing us for that now with all of these UFO sightings. And because, listen, it makes more sense. Why have us fighting a human enemy when we can all join forces and fight a cosmic Bin Laden? We all need to get together now. Let's put all our differences aside because aliens are coming. It's all bullshit.
They show you that Independence Day.
They're showing it to you in all the movies coming up now, and even the Vatican said something about aliens are okay as long as they abide to Christianity. So, I kid you not, shit came out from the Pope himself. So all of their movies and stuff is to prepare you for when they hit you with this hologram, you know what I'm saying, this holographic UFO. Now, when you think of a hologram, you're going to think it's just going to be a light in the sky. No, their technology is advanced. That shit might shoot beams, shit. Take a few motherfuckers out. Then, because my boy gonna tell me, yo, I know it's bullshit, so when I see the aliens and shit, I ain't moving, because it's some bullshit. And on the surface, he is right. It's some bullshit. But when the alien holograph starts shooting motherfuckers to make an example, your ass gonna run just like me. I'ma know it's some bullshit, but I'm gonna be running. So don't tell me, because we all knew the 911 shit was bullshit. But yet they implemented the patriotic laws and all the Patriot Act, which we all know has nothing to do with nothing. But we live our life by it now simply because we saw some people get sacrificed in a building. So they're not just going to show you a light in the sky. They're not going to do that shit. That shit going to be shooting. Mark my word. That motherfucker going to start shooting. Let's go. Boom. That's what it is.
The Great Fiasco letting you know he's a cosmic entity. With his radio in hand, letting you know where this so-called hip-hop comes from. We made it out of nowhere, out of thin air, from the light. And you see the 7-band spectrum. And he's letting you know, look at all the elements around me. I don't come from here. It's called food and liquor. That's the food for you. Food and liquor. You know what I'm saying?
And he don't get a lot of credit. This boy's bad. This boy right here is bad. You know what I mean? He's out in the Midwest. So we wanted to throw that up there because we appreciate deciphering this particular cover. And he got that radio, got that boombox. Yep. That's the Genesis. It's right where his heart chakra is. You see what I'm saying?
From somewhere else to spread a message via the radio.
Boom. And we are the radio itself. You see what I'm saying? We have become adapted to using external devices, the more external shit we use, the more internal shit shut down. We didn't have to pick up a phone and all that. Now we have to do all that, so all of our power to do that naturally is gone. I got my cell phone, I got an iPhone, and shit got a drum machine in it. For real, with an equalizer, a 12 band, a sampler, all this shit is in my iPhone. This is the ultimate nigga shit. Ultimate. So niggas can continue to do this, because that texting shit is dangerous. Everybody's doing, nobody's looking up at the sky, nobody's studying none of it. Everybody's like this. I had to buy that shit. I said, you mean I get a whole drum machine in the phone? I can make beats and shit. I had to order that shit. And it's crazy. That's where they're going with this technology. But again, externally we get involved and in love with external things, and we lose the power from within. Again, as we mentioned, Nas said hip-hop is dead, he's holding the rose. What does that rose mean? Anybody tell me what the rose about? Dead rose too. Rose pollution, who knows? Hip-hop is dead. Dark vaccine. Next. Boom. This was his original album cover.
They stopped it from coming out.
They stopped it from coming up. Now, this is not your typical depiction of what a nigga is. This nigga reading the magazine, got a suit on and shit.
Suited up.
It's telling you, no matter how much you achieve anything in this society, they still consider you a nigga. It's a running joke among white people. What do you call an intelligent, successful black man?
Nigga.
A nigga. Okay, so Nas is depicting that in this particular photo. This is the new nigga.
How come they would object against that title, but yet throughout the record, we're not the same nigga? But Khan has a title, but it don't make no sense.
It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. He's saying nigga throughout the whole record.
Are you saying they didn't allow the title or they didn't allow the cover?
They didn't allow the title niggas. So he decided to go with the cover with him, with the whips in on his back, with the whip showing that he's still a slave. He can't do what he want to do. He couldn't name his, and he held up for a long time. He said, I'm naming it nigga, that's it. And then he got some pressure from who? Messy Jesse and Jesse Jackson and NAACP niggas, them niggas, shit. Came in and got on his case or something, so he decided to take it another way. But this was the original album. So when you put them both together, it says hip hop is dead, nigga. Next. This was off his mixtape. Again, showing another essence of what happened. This is why black people in America are the way they are. See, we had a different upbringing. We had to go through different traumatic events which made us the way we are. It just is what it is. So hip hop had to come from a place of the most wretched, the most traumatized people can only give birth to something as magnificent as hip hop. You know what I'm saying? And we need to also pay homage to Kool Herc, Flash, and Bam. We living in their mind right now. If somebody can go back in time and eliminate them, we probably would all vanish. All of us who are on some hip hop shit, who live and die by it. We are a fiction of their imagination. They created this shit out of their mind. Take away their mind, your ass just go poof. Just like on TV and shit. So we like to pay homage to that. Next, the stakes is high. That's De La Soul. You see children in this photo. The stakes is high. They're not after you. You're already stuck in your ways. Shit, they're after them. Because that controls the future. That's your future right there. They're not after us. We're done. Most of us are set in our ways and we're not going to change. It's the children, the ones who can perform the magic, the ones who believe in the fairy tale, the ones who can see demons and entities. And I used to see entities as a child, so I know they're real.
And that's why
In my book that I'm going to be coming out with next year about my life, this is why I am. I used to see entities all the time. My grandmother used to use me for ritual work. I was her talisman. And she was highly advanced. People would travel from all over the country to come see her. You see what I'm saying? So I'm going to get into some of that stuff in my personal book so you can understand. When I got in touch with Bobby Hemmett and them, I was suppressing all of that energy for so long because I was told that I was crazy and that's not the way I was supposed to be. And when Bobby opened up that vortex, he basically called me home. So I came home. And now I can, talk about it. So when my children tell me they saw some crazy shit, I go, really? Well, tell me all about it. What did you see? Because I want to know, because I know what's on the other side there.
Scarface.
this movie really started all the gangster rap shit. Everyone began and fell in love with Al Pacino in America. This movie right here is a classic. Anybody, I'm pretty sure fellas have seen it, ladies, anybody seen it? Classic movie, but it was telling our story.
It was telling our story. It was telling a story about the rise, what the black man wanted so much. He came from Cuba having nothing. This guy came to America illegally and rose to the top. That is a story of the black man. That's why we want so much. And if you look at the Jay-Z's and all, you really can't fault them at times. They want to get to the top. They want to have the jewelry. They want to get the baddest girl, Michelle Pfeiffer, in the movie. And we live this. But at the same time, this movie was so detrimental, it literally almost chopped our heads off. Brothers was embodying this whole movie. But if you look at it, that's what the black man must do, in a sense, come from the bottom where they got us at now and rise to the top. Not on the monetary faction, but what was the slogan of the movie? The world is yours. Nas told you. It's yours. The whole world is yours. And you can grab the whole world if you want it and have it in the palm of your hand. Not through selling drugs and things of that nature, but getting people high on a whole other level.
And that's why we are here. Next. Boom. Anybody remember this cover?
Yeah.
Fellas.
I bought it just for that.
I bought it just, I ain't gonna lie. I'm showing the front. I'm not even gonna show the back of shit. When you flipped it, I was like, how much? You know what I'm saying? Real deal. But again, the Scarface movie made us want power. You know what I mean? Made us want power.
And he's rocking the African medallion.
Rocking the African medallion on his face. Got his sister with him. Back of the album cover, classic. Go get it. Look it up online. Boom.
This is what we talked about before, The Dark Knight. We broke this down already, but, talking about Nas and things of that nature, The Dark Knight was really the Joker. Is that what Nas is really his doing? I already broke it down. I won't go over it again. But is Nas coming in like the sleeping giant, soon to take over Def Jam? That's what Ether was about. The Joker told you I'm an agent of chaos. Ether is synonymous with chaos. It's what melanin is. And if you look at it, Jay-Z still can't get over the fact of what Ether really did to him. He still don't even understand.
He don't even rhyme the same.
Don't even rhyme the same.
His rhyme flow has been tweaked after he got hit with the ether. I'm sorry.
Right.
His shit is a little off. But when you get hit in your soul, sometimes that shit happens. You know what I mean? His rhyme flow is not the same ever since he got hit with the ether.
And I'm going to say it again, if you watch the movie, at the end of the movie, well, close to the end, the Joker burned a stack of money. But if you look at it, it's in pyramid form. He burned a stack of money. He had the Chinese man on top. He used Rosicrucian pyramid signs. If you look at the back of the US dollar bill, he used pyramid signs to take down that whole faction. And he said, you can't kill me. Nas said that on the records before. You can't kill me. So is Nas using ether or giving us a formula how to take out your foes? You know what I'm saying? I'm emotionless. What are my fears? I have none. So Nas is basically letting you know I am the Dark Knight. When I watch this movie, I think about this, the way Nas took out Jay-Z, and it's the very same thing. You know what I mean? So Joker wore all purple, and that's a royal knight. It had nothing to do with Batman. Batman was a coward who wanted to put in place a two-faced politician. Ain't that what we got now? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So check the movie out.
And Heath Ledger, they smoked him. And they had a $100 million policy on his life. A lot of people don't know that. That's what the movie Tropic Thunder was about.
Why they smoke it?
I just got finished saying they had a $100 million policy on his life. They made, you know how much money they made just on him dying? They made $100 million. Took him and hyped up the movie and made another $500 million. You follow what I'm saying? Because remember, he died over an overdose, and Jack Nicholson told him, do not take that role. Jack Nicholson told him, look, that role is too dark for you and sinister. Do not take that role. See, he became Joker, and when they said cut, the nigga was still the Joker. You see what I'm saying? You get so caught into a role that you can't turn the role off, and then you need medication, and then he overdosed. Or they say he overdosed, but the first person that the maid, she picked up the phone, she called the Olsen twins. What kind of shit is that? She ain't called the doctor, she called the Olsen twins. No, I'm just trying to tell you. If I die and y'all call motherfucking Rich, somebody gonna go into jail. Or something. What kind of shit is that? They ain't call it a hospital, they call it Olsen twins. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of times you get caught into these characters and you can't turn the character off. But you can do that to your advantage too. You can become anybody you want to become. They saying that's how people are healing themselves. That's a new age form of healing yourself. Become someone else. Live as someone else. My name at home is Turk. My wife's name is Tony. That's not her name, but when I see something in her I don't like, I tell her I want Tony to do the shit this way. And we play that little game. She's like, look, man, Dwayne, which is my name, I don't like the way you do that. I wish Turk would do something different. And we just play this little mind game in the house and be different people. Jay-Z is what, 12 people? Jigga, Jay-Z, Sean Carter, Young H.O.
Yeah.
The nigga name is Ho. Young Ho. Nigga calls himself Young H.O. I didn't make that up. So he has all these different characters, and he can be who he want to be. Our problem is we're looking at it moralistically. How you gonna do this? This nigga's living high in the heart. He don't give a shit about nothing we do or say. He don't give a shit about my DVDs. None of that shit. I'm not changing the bottom line. You follow? And we too busy saying that's wrong, you shouldn't be doing it. But this nigga has got everything he want. Maybe we twisted. Maybe we haven't elevated to the point where he is. Think about that. I'm doing a lecture called, not Devil's Advocate, God's Advocate. And I'm going to turn everything around and have us look at it from another perspective. Maybe we need to come back a couple more times so we can get rich. You see what I'm saying? Do not be surprised. We think, listen, that's just the way shit works sometimes. We think we the ones who are advancing on top. Maybe we slow. We all fucking broke. We can't do shit right. Quiet as kept. 10 years from now, we'll be here talking the same shit that they're doing shit wrong, but by that time, their kids will be in college, high on the fucking heart. And I refuse to be somebody that's going to be coming to see you 10 years from now, talking the same shit, like I'm running on a goddamn treadmill. I refuse to do it. If I'm doing it, then I'm not doing you any good. You follow what I'm saying? So we need to look at it from a different perspective sometimes. This nigga created his own reality and he's living in it and saying, leave me the fuck alone. I created this shit out of my mind. I was the biggest drug dealer, the biggest hustler. I want millions of riches, and the universe said, poof, have it. We're saying we want justice and shit and all that. We shall overcome, and no justice, no peace, and we waiting for some shit to happen. The brother said, asked me yesterday, what about 2012? And I told him, ain't shit gonna happen. And check this out. What happens when 2012 comes and nothing happens? What the fuck does that say for our science? Who are putting these thoughts in our head to make us keep waiting for some shit to happen? Even the most spiritual people that we are, we're still waiting for 2012. And then 2012 comes, well, we wait for 2014 because the calendar was off. And then that comes, and we waiting for 2030 to come. Fuck that shit. You see what I'm saying? Live your life to the fullest now. Fellas, take your queen out. Leave all that cosmology shit at home. If she want to go to movies, take her to the fucking movies. She want to sit on the couch, rub her feet, make her feel like a queen. Go to your children's events. My daughter's got some shit going on in school when I get back. I don't really care, but she does. It's everything to her. And I'm not going to become some militant motherfucker who sits in somebody else's reality. In the meantime, life around me is happening. Balance that shit out, fellas. I've seen too many fellas lose their queen because they stay up in the stratosphere with shit. And it's real shit going down on the planet that we gotta deal with on a daily basis. Balance. Walking both worlds. My wife know when I get in my zone and I gotta study and do my thing, cool. But I'm in the mall holding hands in love. You see me at home, I do all that shit. I'm making cookies with the kids and shit. All of that, because all of that's relevant. Because 20 years will go by and we'll be doing the same shit, talking the same science. You see what I'm saying? And we don't want to do that. We want to move this shit forward the best way we can. Now I'm about to send the bucket around and pick up some collections. That's what the good reverend would do, right? The good reverend would raise the energy in the room and say, nigga, pull the bucket, man. So we're going to keep it moving. All right, Eminem. We know the science on him. We talked about it. He can't rhyme. I don't care how many words you put together. MCing is not about putting just words together. When I hear him on a track with a melanated being, you can immediately hear the contrast.
Yeah.
Immediately. The MC ain't even got to be that tight, but because the melanin is there, he's riding in between the bass and snares in certain kind of ways. Eminem cannot do that. I put white men cannot rap in my book. White men can't rap, and I got a whole bunch of flack, but they can't. I don't give a shit how many words they put together. You follow? We do this from a whole different place. You see what I'm saying? It's not a linear, let me just see if I can write these rhymes and make these words rhyme. The words ain't even gotta rhyme. That's what spoken word poetry, a lot of that shit don't even rhyme. And it touches you from your soul because it's deeper than just rudimentary put the words together. Now, he's coming out with a new album. And his name is Marshall. I always say when he comes in, he implements martial law. He takes over shit. Him, Dr. Dre, and 50 Cent are all coming out at the same time. So expect a big bombard of shit going on with them. Of course, orchestrated by Jimmy Young. We got the Jewish dude there. All that's going to be taking place. Alright? Boom. This was an album cover back in the day. Quiet as kept. When we rolled on the wall, on the walls, who said that this wasn't an album cover, Rich?
That was an album cover. He's letting people know all the sciences was being sprayed down. That's like Lupe Fiasco's album cover. The rays of light is coming down on you. You know what I mean? Hitting the children, letting people know. And as we lift the veil, break down all album covers, it was up to us back then to break it down because we started to forget. And that's why we wrote hieroglyphics. We already knew. Back in pre-dynastic times, we didn't have to write. That's why, it was very primitive to write. But look how elaborate the glyphs became more elaborate, more science, because they know they had to leave it to us, just like hip-hop. Bambaataa, Flash and all them, they broke it down and put it down there so we could later come and decode it. I was incarnate so I could decode it and bring it to y'all.
And that one picture might be 500 pages in a book today of science read backward, forward, inside out. One piece connects to another. It's so intricate the way we did things. We didn't do things on a linear form. So if you're looking at this linear, you're missing the whole point. And that's what we try to do with this weekend over these album covers, is not look at them linearly. We try to show you a whole nother perspective of the album covers, because now our science to review it has caught up to the science. They were ahead of their time. We're finally catching up. So now we can decipher it on a whole nother level. Rising Down. That's the Roots joint.
That's the Roots, like, that right on the plantation, you know what I mean? We still on the plantation nowadays, and now we're rising down. That's the house that they're coming down to raise down. So is it time to change things around? They're just putting a question mark on your head. So you're the decipher. See, they put it up there, and most people ask me, Rich, what does this mean? Around my neighborhood, they say, Rich, what does it mean? Well, to me, it looks like a black man rising down and taking over the plantation. Is that what we're supposed to do now? See, the Roots, they're giving us instructions. Through their music, they're giving us instructions. To me, that looks like, look, black man, get on your real deal tip, grow your wings, spread your wings and fly to take over. And look at the white people, they running for panic. Exactly. They're running around like, oh shit. All
right, one more slide or something. So we have.
Woo! Check it out.
An album.
He's saying it straight up, man. I'm coming out of the pyramids, the Giza Plateau, and I got something to say. If you look around, it's a desertified land, and it's a microphone, and it look like there's a puddle of water. I mean, that's the source of life. You know what I mean? When you need to find an oasis, you're trying to find life, and he's trying to let you know through a microphone. I got ancient metaphysical things to tell the people how to liberate themselves, because we all dying. You know what I mean? We starving. We out here in a desert. Shit, in New York, there is no grass. It's a concrete jungle. It's similar to that.
You know what I'm saying? So no matter wherever you go, there you are. It ain't where you're from, it's where you're at. And quiet as kept, I thought he beat LL ass too. I thought he did. However, he's LL. Nigga just took his shirt off. That's what the fuck he did. Because Cannabis Rhymes was crazy. He smoked him for 3 and L just took it and said, alright dude, check this out. Took his shirt off and shit. Came back with a few rhymes, can I bust? You see what I'm saying? And so forth and so on. But LL is such a mighty figure. He done slayed so many people in hip-hop that we just gave it to him by default. They just said, look, fuck it, I think L won. L got his ass whipped. Yeah. But where's Cannabis now? So who won?
He went to the army.
He went into the army. He went to be all he could be. What kind of shit is that? Yeah, of course. Of course. But who's still standing? Who's still with their swagger? You see what I'm saying? So he may have won the battle, but who's winning the war? You know what I mean? LL smoked many people, smoked Ice-T's ass. I don't care with nobody. He smoked. He said, I took that album cover home to the bathroom, nigga, of you and your wife on it. Smoked them. Smoked them to the point where LL had to contact the Zulu Nation because Ice-T was coming to see that ass, for real. That's when you know a nigga catch feelings and shit. It's like, nigga, that shit touched me, nigga. I want to fight now and shit. Bambaataa had to mediate some Zulu Nation shit and say, no, y'all, keep it there.